Welcome to the Diecast Showcase. This is the video series on Keystone Productions where I take the diecast out of their case and show them to you. And today we're going to be taking a look at not one, but two Ross Chastain diecasts. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Keystone Productions YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to be doing a special edition for the 10th Diecast Showcase, and that's do a little double feature on two diecasts from Ross Chastain from the 2020 season. So without further ado, let's take a look. We'll start with this cup car, and that would be the number 77 Watermelon Man brand Chevy Camaro for Spire Motorsports. So here is the package here. The usual Lionel packaging, but as you'll see as I talk about, it's nice to see a diecast made for a smaller team. Obviously Spire pretty much, at least at one point, was an underfunded team, still is a smaller team. I wouldn't say underfunded anymore, but it's nice to see a smaller team get a diecast made for them. So without further ado, let's take this car out of its box. And here she is. I have to say it's a pretty mean looking car, but it's also a pretty cool looking car at the same time. So we'll, as always, we'll start with a 360 view look at it. And I have to say the Chevy Camaro ZL1 has always looked pretty mean on track, but it finished in all black is a really mean look. But there's more to the paint scheme than that. As you could probably very clearly see, there's a load of pink everywhere. We've got a pink splitter down here, pink A-pillar, and that wraps up to the edge along the roof rails here and wraps back down the seat post and then wraps around the back window there. And then we've also got this here. Now it may just look like there's two random green stripes and a bunch of pink stripes and even a paint chip here, but actually if you look closely, this is just an oversized watermelon. So we've got the watermelon rind here and then two watermelon seeds, one behind these small sponsors and then one here on the quarter panel. Other than that, the paint scheme is really just a solid black car, so nothing too crazy there, but I have to say a really nice look to have a nice contrast between the solid black base and some really bright, vibrant colors that are also a little unusual. And speaking of unusual, let's talk about the sponsors here. There really is only one sponsor to talk about, and that is the Melon Man brand. Now if you don't know, Ross Chastain is a watermelon farmer from Florida, and he's really embraced this whole Watermelon Man thing to the point where he smashes a watermelon on the start-finish line or in victory lane whenever he wins a race. So that's pretty cool, I have to say. A little unusual, but that's a pretty cool thing that he started doing. And of course he's taken that even further and developed his whole brand around the watermelon idea. And this is the logo for that. So we've got a nice little watermelon head. Kind of interesting that his mouth reveals, you know, it's made out of a watermelon slice, but I guess if he were to open his mouth, that's really what you'd see inside anyway. And he's got a nice pink and white hat on. Around the side, we've got Melon Man brand over the rear tire, some small contingencies down here, a really small sponsor on the B pillar that I can't make out for the life of me, Champion down here on the C, or up here I should say, on the C post, and then Ross Chastain's name logo here above the window. And here's a closer look at that. Again, you can see the Melon Man logo here with Ross Chastain, and there's a closer look at the contingencies. Around back, there's really nothing to report other than the Melon Man brand and the Chevy Camaro ZL1 badging. And on the deck lid and the roof, here's a nice change of pace too. Granted, this is of course for a smaller team, but it's really nice to see no roof sponsor, and it's a nice change of pace to see no deck lid sponsor either. It kind of just makes this whole car look that much cleaner, not having sponsors everywhere. Maybe that's just my own opinion. Well, it definitely is my own opinion, but maybe I'm in the minority of that side of the opinion things. But I have to say it's a nice look not having sponsors everywhere all over the car. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Another really cool paint scheme. Again, I really love the contrast between the solid black base of the car and the bright pink everywhere else. And as you may have noticed, this truck also expands on the Watermelon brand. So let's get this car out of the way and take a look at this truck. Now this is the number 42 truck that Ross Chastain drove for Nice Motorsports periodically throughout the 2020 season. There's a look at the box, and let's take this one out. And here we have Ross Chastain Circle Track Race Parts / Florida Watermelon Association race truck. This is a Chevy Silverado that he drove again for Nice Motorsports in the 2020 NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series season, and very similar indeed in some regards to the Cup car we just took a look at, but also very different. So the primary paint scheme really is again built on this whole watermelon idea. So we've got straight up watermelons on the deck lid. Normally I'd start somewhere else, but I mean, look at all these watermelons on the deck lid, or really I guess the bed lid, whatever that proper part is called. If you know, comment down below, because I'm sure people on the internet would love to correct me. But at any rate, so we've got all of that here, and then we've got the watermelon rind going up along the side of the truck, and then the rest of the truck is just solid red with a variation of white and red watermelon seeds on the hood and a couple down the side. And of course the back is solid red with the giant Nice logo. Now let's take a closer look at the sponsors, because somehow these trucks have a lot more sponsors to go through than the Cup Series do. But anyway, we've got Circle Track Race Parts on the hood. So that is, I guess, technically the primary sponsor, despite the rest of the truck really being devoted to watermelon. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Coming down the side here, we've got Eat Florida Watermelon, Mobile One, Mechanics Wear, K&N, and a bunch of other small ones. As you can see here, contrary to the modern day NASCAR Cup cars, we've got a whole host of contingency sponsors here still, and even more so up here on the B pillar. We've got something for Texas, we got Watermelon, we got Nutrien, AG Solutions, Nice, and Chevrolet, and of course Ross Chastain's name and logo above the window. The Gander RV and Outdoors banner across the windshield, Ross Chastain's name on the rear windshield, as we already went over, the Nice logo and the Chevrolet Silverado. What does that say there? RS what? RST badging, that's what that is. And then of course Chevrolet on the bed, and this side is pretty much the same. I had to do a double take just to make sure that the watermelon seeds were the same, but at least for the sponsors, that is the same. So I have to say we've got two really cool paint schemes and diecast for Ross Chastain out of the 2020 season. The Spire Motorsports Cup car is absolutely beautiful in my opinion. Like I said a few times already in this video, I absolutely love the bright pop of pink all over the car in contrast to the black background. And the truck that we have is really cool too. I absolutely love how Ross Chastain has embraced the Florida man, watermelon man image and story that he's been running with, and I think it has led to some pretty cool paint schemes, I have to say, and some even better looking diecast. So that about wraps up my thoughts on these two cars. Let me, well, car and truck I guess I should say. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this special double Diecast Showcase installment. Of course, we'll wrap up the video by letting them go for a couple spins in the Diecast rotation station. But again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you continue to tune in to the Diecast Showcase. But that's all for this one. So have a good day, take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.